and welcome back to Let's Play Silent Hill 4: The Room. Last time, we made it through the water prison world, and the man that we found there pretty quickly died after his introduction. We did not get too much characterization for Andrew DeSalvo. Naturally, the hole in the bathroom has expanded once more, and it presumably will take us to another world. Nothing too terribly interesting going on in the apartments across, although looks like those children are still fascinated at what potentially could be going on in room 302. So, with that all said and done, let's take a trip into the hole, see where it brings us this time, and just try to ignore the bloodstains in the bathroom. There's a lot of noise coming from inside the hole. Will we go in? Oh, why wouldn't we? We seem to have found ourselves transported to a strange downtown area. Lots of weird animal noises going on in the background. Not exactly sure where this alley we're in is even positioned, but there's nothing to do but just go forward. This is Building World, and it's probably the largest of the starting levels in the game, but it's also fairly linear, not too difficult to get through. And man, there's a lot of animal screeching here. I've heard the term concrete jungle before, but this is ridiculous. Speaking of concrete jungle, we've got a new enemy, the Gumheads. These sort of simian humanoids are fairly resistant to charged attacks from your weapons, and they get up pretty quickly after being nailed with one, so it can take a lot of effort with melee weapons to take them down, but if you hit them with the stun gun, they immediately fall over and you can stomp them for an instant kill, so stun gun is a pretty good weapon here, though I would not recommend fighting multiples of them at a time.
Ouch! Damn it. Where the hell am I? You're a real person. Hey, you're the guy that lives across from me.
Yeah, my name's Henry.
I'm Richard Braintree, from 207. What the hell's happened to us? That hole in this freaky world. But if you're here too, then there must be something wrong with the whole apartment building. That must explain what happened to that other guy too.
What other guy?
The guy who lived in 302 before you. A journalist. He disappeared one day. He got pretty crazy towards the end. Shut himself up in his room and wouldn't come out. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. You should too, if you know what's good for you.
Wait. Watch out for that kid.
Huh.
Alright, so after that cutscene wraps up, some Gumheads will immediately drop down, but yes, that was Richard, a man who is able to take a fall with an impressive amount of dignity and grace. But he noted that he got sucked into a hole too and transported to the building world, so that kind of indicates that something is wrong with the entire South Ashfield Heights building. But he did elaborate a little bit on the previous resident of Room 302, a journalist. You know, those red diary scraps we've been picking up, they gotta have a journalistic bent to them as well. Sensing a connection here. Anyways, Henry gave him the rather unhelpful hint to watch out for that kid, which Richard obviously has no context for, but The other thing that I always found amusing about that scene is that he just completely ignores Henry's attempt to be sociable and give him a handshake, and I always found that a little funny. Also, that was the first time I noticed that Richard had that picture of an angel on his tie. I've never noticed that before. It's always fun when you're playing a game in a Let's Play and you notice something for the first time, and what is that sound? Huh. Let me see here. There's a weird sword stuck in his stomach. He's holding something in his hand. Let's take the item in his hand. We'll get the ghost key. This is the key to the door out of here. But that sword, the handguard, it's got a triangle shape to it. I think there's a sword stuck in his stomach. Take it out. You got the Sword of Obedience. Extremely rare sword. When used against down ghosts, it stops them in place. When pulled out, the ghost is revived. The Sword of Obedience is an item that lets you technically kill ghosts. When ghosts fall over due to damage, you can use the Sword of Obedience from your inventory to pin them to the ground, thus removing them from the game entirely. They will never chase you again. They cannot appear in any different area. You can also take the sword back if you do not feel like pinning that particular ghost. Because we removed the Sword of Obedience from this guy, he will begin to chase us in various areas around Building World, but there are far more threatening ghosts in the game that we want the Swords of Obedience for. So we're just gonna take this and deal with this guy. He is not much of a threat. The Saint's Medallion, if we equip it, will ward him off just fine. Heading into this stairwell here, got some tremors on the wall if you're doing a ranked run and want to farm some kills, though honestly, tremors are pretty slow to kill, so I wouldn't really recommend them for farming. Toadstools and white stools are by far the best enemies for quickly racking up kills, and you'll likely get a few Hummer kills as the game goes on. Incidentally, even when the enemies also explode on contact like that, that also counts as a kill in your favor. There's that guy immediately coming after us after we have freed him, but it's not a big concern. Heading into this area here, looks like a storage room for some kind of store. Yes, I know, my investigative skills are amazing. Disregarding that, get some pistol bullets here. If you want to shoot gumheads down, they take 6 pistol bullets on hard mode to take out. Over here, got a sporting goods store and an aluminum bat. Nice. The aluminum bat is an upgrade over the steel pipe. It has more or less the same moveset, and it has a slightly slower charge time for the charge attacks, but each individual strike has about twice the power of what the steel pipe can do, so it's a flat upgrade in most regards to the steel pipe. However, it's also a weapon we're going to be using for very briefly, because not long after, we're going to get 2 more weapons that are just flatly superior to the iron bat, so good stuff, good stuff. Iron bat, aluminum bat. The reason I got iron on the brain is because we got a 5 iron here. We're going to have several weapons that are also just superior to the golf clubs at this point, so there is no real reason to pick them up. Should we return to the apartment at this point, though? There's a small little scene we can get here. Also, with this bat, with these bats and this golf club, Henry's getting pretty close to getting his Casey Jones-style golf bag ready to go out and take care of some lowlife. But returning to the apartment at this point, hey, somebody knocking? Is that Frank again? Let's go take a look. Better check on your neighbor soon. Could have written that. Strange. I'm used to only thing being added there is handprints. Now, I'm just gonna stop here for a little bit, and I'll cut ahead, but there is a random event that can happen at your window at this point in the game, but it doesn't always happen, so I'm just gonna wait for a minute and see if it oh, yep. As I was saying it, yes, that is the head of Andrew DeSalvo. During Building World, sometimes he'll occasionally float by the living room window, so a little creepy event if you're not expecting it. Nothing on the radio, but let's check on Eileen, make sure she's doing okay. And does not look like she's in the room. There's several events that can be involved with Eileen. We saw the one where she was walking off screen. We saw the one where she is laying on bed. There's also one where she's watching a TV show, and apparently it's a comedy, and she's laughing rather uproariously at it. We're going to store the Sword of Obedience for now, because we really don't need it at this point. I'm going to hang on to the aluminum bat, because there's exactly one room where I'm going to put it to some use. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back into the Building World and explore the rest of the store area. So, we've got a couple routes we could potentially take at this point. Let's take a look at this door here. Locked. So I guess that leaves us with the only real choice of going through this door at this moment. Nothing awaits us in this stairwell. Quite a few stairwells you have to go down in this area. I don't want to think too hard about what that could possibly be, but I can assure you it's not anything that's going to get us here. Heading into this door here... we're going to find ourselves in a pet store, and this area is crawling with sniffer dogs. There are 3 altogether. But with our handy-dandy aluminum bat, we can take these things out no issue. And that's actually a very lucky strike we got there. A single charge strike does not always knock these things down like that. Ooh. Luckily, with this cramped area, we can easily get this guy backed up against a wall. Whoop. Bit of a mistake there. I shouldn't have released the... oh, hello. Not used to them, come on, come here. Where are you? Nice, swing for the fences. Get a grand slam there, take him out. And the main reason we're coming in here is, not the cat food, but the keys. This is the key to the sports store up top, which will allow us to go further into the building world. But there is a small optional area we can check out by going this way. There's no reason to do this, but, hey. Get out of my way. As long as you back up and just let that guy fly on by, you don't have to worry about him striking you. As you can see, though, he is pretty quick, so be mindful of getting cornered by him. Heading into this door here, looks like, some kind of inverted room here. What's with this door? An upside-down clock. The hands aren't moving. The doorknob is rusted shut, and I can't get it open. If only we could turn back time and perhaps get that door in a more usable state. If only. But that's the only thing to check out here. This is irrelevant for now, but it'll become important later. So, you know, if you just want to tuck that away for later... oh, man, come on. Let's equip the Saints Medallion here. In addition to preventing the passive damage that the ghosts deal to you, the Saints Medallion also heavily... stymies their movement, causing them to go really slow. Also absolutely love just getting tagged as soon as I... oh, jeez! Uh-oh. Oh, this is unfortunate. Oof. Thank you for mercy invincibility. Obviously, I'm going to take a quick dive back into the apartment once we get back up to the sports store. Yeesh. Perhaps I should have taken out that sniffer dog while I had the opportunity. I forgot that there were also Hummers around that area, so that got a little dicey. Would have forced a little bit of replaying of the game if I had died there, but it wouldn't have been a huge deal. So let me return to the apartment real quick and just top off my health, just in case we need it.
And now the news. Yesterday, Wally the Walrus, a longtime resident of the Springfield Zoo, gave birth to a healthy baby walrus pup named Buttercup. Mother and child are doing just fine.
And there's another one of the random news stories you can get from the radio. Isn't that one sweet? Another one about a baby animal. Gotta love it. There is one that's actually kind of funny that I hope we can get, but there is going to come a point in the game where the radio actually stops giving us any potential news stories, period. So we'll see if we get lucky, but it's not a big deal if we don't. Alright, so now that we've narrowly avoided disaster, let's continue on through the building world. Heading out this way. Find ourselves on, yet again, another stairwell. We got a few gumheads crowding up the area, but you can usually pretty easily run past them. Note that gumheads come in 2 variants. So far, we've just been seeing the unarmed variants, but there are variants that actually do arm themselves with weapons. I know, it sounds a little funny, but you'll see what I mean when we actually encounter one. But we'll have to wait, it seems. Heading down this way, that door is locked. These 2 sets of double doors, you want to go into the one on the right.
The kid he was talking about? You live in that apartment too, huh? Say, you look a lot like a little punk that I once caught sneaking around there. Do you know something about what's going on? Hey, you! Stop!
Richard's acumen with children is just top tier. He knows how to talk to them. Now that we've reached the bottom floor on the elevator, there are 2 sets of doors on each side of the elevator. Now this set just goes to a dead end, but there are some pistol bullets for us to take up, and I'd highly recommend getting these sniffer dogs trapped up on this fence right here, for reasons. Heading back into the elevator, we can go down a ladder to a lower level. But we actually want to hit the call buttons, and we want to go to the top floor, and the door we want to go out is the one that's on the side of the ladder. This is actually opposite where we entered on the top floor where we started from. There's nothing of interest on the middle floor, so we'll just ignore that. But we do want to go through this door, as there are a couple of very good items to pick up here. I'd also highly recommend, if you're low on health, equipping the Saints Medallion coming into this area, as we quickly find ourselves being chased by ghosts. And this is a pretty lengthy hallway. We don't have to equip it right away, since they don't really catch up with us immediately, but once we have to travel back, we will want the protection from the Saints Medallion. Here we've got a spade, an upgraded melee weapon. It has, it's a slow but relatively powerful weapon, and there's a second Sword of Obedience, 2 of 5 in the game. Highly recommend picking this up, very useful to pick this up for later if you want to pin all of the special ghosts later in the game. Let's bring out that spade, because, or shovel, because it's, as you can see, gives Henry a unique running animation. I'm not sure if he actually moves any faster when he has that. It looks like he does, but it just might be the animation. But the shovel, is it a shovel or a spade? I keep forgetting that. Spade, okay, it's a spade. We can do slow overhead strikes with it, or you can charge it up. It's got a slow charge time, but Henry can stab with it like it's a spear, and that has a crazy disjointed hitbox. It hits way farther than it looks, and it's actually a very safe and powerful weapon to use, although it's not to my style, but I've seen a runner do no damage playthroughs of the game using it. A huge advocate of the weapon because of how safe it is to use. However, there's another weapon we're going to be getting here that's even better, and it's probably the most famous weapon in the game, probably the weapon that most people who play this stick to for the rest of it, and I will definitely be using it. Also, I'm just realizing that our inventory is rather full, and we're actually going to have to make a stop to dump some stuff off before we finish this area. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go up the ladder. Now, the reason I want to crowd those sniffer dogs by the fence is because we are on the other side of that fence now, and ideally this will give us an opportunity to juke past them, as you can see. Just go this way. They'll get a chance to lunge. There's another one, but nothing too threatening. We're going to have more gumheads coming through here, and, nuts. There's the other kind. Gumheads can be wielding golf clubs, much like Henry himself, and they're not super threatening with them, but if they do get a chance to whack you, they will deal some pretty considerable damage, so be mindful when traveling in their vicinity. I do want to note about that nutrition drink that I picked up earlier. Once again, like the other nutrition drinks, I'd actually recommend leaving that there and not picking it up right now. It can help in its own way if you pick it up right now, but the way I play the game, I generally prefer to leave behind those healing items because they come in handy later. Now, heading over here, it's a rusty axe. Take the rusty axe. One-handed axe. A little short, but powerful and easy to handle. Powerful is right. The rusty axe is widely considered to be the best weapon in the game. Its normal strikes are very quick. It doesn't look like it, but they actually have pretty decent range in front of Henry. It charges up decently quick, but the main reason this weapon is so good is its charge attack. Watch this. Henry just goes all in on an overhead swing, takes a huge lunge forward, and the big reason this is so good is not only is it really powerful, it's like triple the strength of the charged attack from the steel pipe. Henry is completely invincible during the animation. It is the safest charge attack in the game by far, since he takes that lunge forward with it, deals tons of damage. Many enemies in the game are outright put into kill range by this, knocked down to the floor, and it allows you to stomp them. Funnily enough, the one enemies that aren't super vulnerable to this are gumheads, because they get sent flying, but they also get up very quick, and you're not going to be able to run up and stomp them before they get up if you hit them with the rusty axe. Now, there's a memo on this bar here. There's a memo here. Boss said that the number of this time is the last 4 digits of the store phone number, but the phone number is written there on the sign on the roof. Anybody could see it from South Ashfield Street. Is that really okay? Not exactly the greatest password security, but yes, the billboard from way earlier in the game, the number that I called at the start, that actually serves a purpose. So, just in case you have forgotten it at this point, let's return to the apartment and just take a quick peek out the window. Yeah, that line of dialogue never changed. Come on, Henry, I'm trying to look through the window. Let's see here. So, just take a quick peep out the window. And if you can't remember the number, the full phone number is 555-3750. We just need the 3750 since that's the last bit of, or the last 4 digits. The main reason I'm actually returning here is because we've got so much in our inventory. We really need to dump off some stuff here. So we're just going to get rid of the stuff that I don't need. And I'm actually going to play with a little bit of foresight here. We're going to clear out legitimately everything that we do not need at this moment. So, the only thing I'm going to be keeping is the rusty axe. We're going to get rid of the pipe, finally, the bat, the spade. We're going to get rid of the stun gun, the pistol, the bullets, the sword of obedience, nutrition drink, obviously. Only thing I really want to hang on to, and this is just for demonstration purposes more than anything, want to hang on to the Saint's Medallion. Any changes out by the front door? Gotta be honest, Frank Sunderland manages to be a little creepy in his own way. Anything going on with Eileen? Looks like that message that warned us to better check on our neighbor has disappeared. Seems like she's watching a horror movie. Perhaps she's watching this Let's Play, which is kind of the opposite of horror, but whatever. That's all there is to see there. I'm glad we got to see another Eileen event. We're very, very rapidly approaching the point in the game where the paradigm for the general gameplay flow switches up majorly. We still have a major area and a half before that really happens. Just going to take a quick opportunity to get this tremor off the door. Remember, you can switch your target quickly by pressing R3, so keep that in mind. So here's the door code. We just gotta punch in 3750, and we are through. So let's head on through here. Make sure, if you're low on health, if you didn't have to return to the apartment, make sure you have the Saint's Medallion equipped at this point. Stairway is collapsed. Doesn't look like I could get through. Well, let's head up it then. Goodness, sounds like somebody is not having a good time up there. But as you can probably hear, there are also ghosts in this stairwell, and this is a very, very long stairwell. The ghost will typically get hung up underneath the stairwell, but that does not protect you from the passive damage that you get from just being in their presence. So be mindful of that. One thing we can do is just rapidly equipped the Saint's Medallion to ward them off, and then unequip it to conserve some of its use. As the Saint's Medallion gets used, eventually it will begin to crack and break, and the actual graphic for it will visually change to reflect that. Note that if you did not free the ghost from the Sword of Obedience earlier, you'd only be chased by the one ghost in this area. But because we freed the guy earlier, he's also chasing us in this one. But it really does not affect you that much. Only if you have the if you don't have the Saint's Medallion is that really a concern. And with that all said and done, we are at the top. Here we've got a door. What's this? It's door 207 from my apartment building. And there's a plate on the door. Remove the plate. We always know what follows when we find these placards. I'm not looking forward to seeing what's beyond this door. But we've gotten the Chaos placard. It has an abstract picture and says Chaos. Well, unfortunately, we were not able to save Richard, and another victim added to the pile. Now we've got 19121. That name that he called the kid that apparently is Walter Sullivan, the 11121 man. I wonder what that could possibly mean. It seems there's some kind of ancient native religion still active in Silent Hill. Once again, Henry's text will have updated. There was even a rumor that a UFO came flying right by the lighthouse. Ah, that's just stupid, Henry. No way that could have happened. I hear that it's almost never sunny in Silent Hill. And people say that when the fog comes out, strange things happen. Alright, that one actually kind of tracks. There is actually I believe it's this one that has a relatively interesting comment. Maybe that orphanage in the forest and the cylinder-shaped prison were both somewhere in this photo, too. Henry is starting to become a little disillusioned with Silent Hill now that he's learned a bit about it. If you remember his earlier comments, he is actually very positive about Silent Hill, somewhat reverent towards it, honestly.
Looks like another one, Captain. Got 121 on his head. It's just like that case from 10 years ago. Yeah, that Walter Sullivan case. But Sullivan's dead. They even got the body. Must be some crazy copycat. Yeah, but even so...
Walter Sullivan died 10 years ago, yet that kid is apparently him. And, this is just getting even more confusing, and it's driving me nuts. Where have I heard that name Walter Sullivan before? Nothing else on the radio here, so time to just do our usual routine of checking the spots to peep. See if there's anything going on in Eileen's room. Looks like she changed her outfit. Nice little red dress that she's got. Let's check out the windows here, see if there's anything going on here. Who the heck is that? There's a man in 207 pointing his finger. He's pointing at room 303. Eileen's room? Who is that guy? I haven't seen him before. Certainly he's got a very low-res model in this viewpoint. Anything going on across the street? Doesn't look like anything too exciting is happening. There's that strange balloon again. Man, that looks familiar. Probably nothing. One last order of business. We just got to peep out the front door, see if there is anything awaiting us there. Looks like Frank is having a bit of a disagreement with the tenants, but you can just see it there. Another handprint added to the wall. So, where could the hole in the wall possibly be taking us next? Let's take a look at that real quick. Is it just me, or is there sort of pattern forming around it now? This hole doesn't look like a human made it. It's getting bigger and rounder. I think I've seen this pattern before. Will you go inside? Not in this video. However, there is a little Easter egg at this point in the game. There's something in the toilet. Should I grab it? I'm not brave enough to do it. Ah, another game, another instance where the protagonist chickens out. So far, James is, he is the top dog of the Silent Hill universe. He would stick his hand in that toilet, no problem. But yeah, that's a little Easter egg and a callback to Silent Hill 2. Once again, you don't need a Silent Hill 2 save data on your memory card to get that this time. It's just an Easter egg for people who are thorough about checking all the updated flavor text. I think there's one more that's, I like to check. These shoes, I'm pretty sure I bought them in Silent Hill. Yeesh, even your footwear might be haunted. And I think, if you check the South Ashfield Heights one, this is South Ashfield Heights. It's U-shaped, so you can see what the person living across from you is doing all the time. Now that I think of it, there was a movie like that a long time ago. The movie Henry is referring to is an Alfred Hitchcock movie called Rear Window, which I've never actually seen, but I do know the basic plot involves a guy who is wheelchair-bound due to a broken leg, and he decides to pass the time just by looking out the windows, and he discovers a murder while doing that. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. But that is where we're going to leave this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, though, goodbye.